Hi, welcome to NeuralSeek's mAIstro tab. This tab is the command center for building AI agent workflows within NeuralSeek. I'm going to show you that we have over 200 plus drag and drop nodes. Before I dive in, I want to bring you exactly to where our real customers start every day. They go over here to our auto builder and describe in natural English the use case they want to do. So for this one, I said go to neuralseek.com, organize the information you find, and generate an executive summary. Here you can see that it's doing just this. Very simply, it just made this instantly. Now, if I go evaluate, I'm leveraging Claude 3.5 Sonnet as my LLM, and I can see that the LLM prompt here was actually engineered based off my input. We have this built into NeuralSeek. So a role that's traditionally 200,000 or more a year is broken down to this automation feature within our platform. Now, you as a business are going to be constantly trying to see where do you want to change this workflow down to minute details. So we provide that ability with our debugger. We can go here and see exactly what happened and when. I can see that this text was scraped from the website and it was saved as a variable, and then it was sent to this LLM, and this was the LLM output. I could actually go on a timeline and see over time what happened. I can see it went first to the web, then it did a summarize, saved the variable text, did an LLM call. And then in the end of the workflow, I can see all my saved variables here. Now, I could redo this run instantly, swapping in Nova Lite. As you see, I just dragged and dropped, clicked a button. Now I'm running this with Nova, and I can do the same for GPT 4.0. And we provide you, the business, the ability to change those LLMs down to the node level. So you can have many nodes in these workflows doing many different LLM calls. And based on what they're doing, your cost preference or your safety tolerance, you can then select a different LLM to do that exact call. The next thing I want to highlight is all of this is saved in a proprietary agent NTL format. This coding format here is really nice. As someone who's non-technical, I do sometimes like to look at these to make sure that what I'm actually doing makes sense. You can then save these within a registry and bring them to your teammates. And you could actually schedule these agents to do different things at different times. So let's take a moment here and look at all these drag and drop nodes that we have available on the left. The first category is our ability to get data from anywhere, pull live or stored data from websites, APIs, databases, documents, or knowledge bases. This is perfect for connecting NeuralSeek to anything that you need to do. Our businesses love to leverage this REST API call. They like to build an agent that connects to a disparate data source and then save that agent for later to use in another instance. Now, the next section is the ability for us to upload data. You can bring in local files, PDFs, data sets that your agent can then process, summarize, and then extract from. What I really like to highlight here is we have the ability to upload an OCR, any document, into NeuralSeek. Now, if we go to our custom connectors, you can then see that I actually have a couple here saved. So I have my Lawrence Gmail one that under the covers is an agent that's fit for purpose for connecting to my specific Gmail. We then have a client that's doing one with a Workiva PII remover, a custom connector built specifically for that disparate data source. Next is our ability to generate data. Obviously, you can generate it with AI. That's the whole point we're here. So LLMs, images, speech. This gives you, the user, to pick and choose how you want to have AI integrated into the workflow. But we understand that businesses like to do things like PowerPoint, Word doc, PDFs, tables, and mathematical equations. Next is your ability to have localized cache. So you can read and write to the local cache, you can delete cache keys and indexes, search the cache, etc. Next is our ability to extract data. So you as a business are going to have data running around these workflows. You need to be able to understand and clean it up. So you can extract entities, you can extract keywords, you can extract grammar, you can OCR an image. Next is your ability to instance data. So you can have data from agents and from users. And more, we're seeing the data visualization space grow. So we recently added a series of charting agents that are able to be put within your workflow to help you as the business demonstrate data competency. Now, this is where we start to get to our multi-tiered agentic flow controlling, where you can have an agentic flow where maybe, let's say, we get some data from a REST API call. We then send that data to an agent. That agent does something. Then we want to make sure that based on the output, we go down door one or door two. So we can say, based on the output, we send it to agent one, or we send it to agent two. This is where we start to see very complex and true agentic AI, where the AI is making decisions on where to go in the workflow. You, as the business, have the complete control to do this, and we provide you the tools to do things like loops, as well as making NTLs, making agents make other agents. Next, but pretty important, is our ability to support the retrieval augmentation generation use case, the traditional RAG. So you have everything you would want. The ability to curate, categorize, query a cache, session history, semantic scoring, adding context, generate embeddings, context grammar in, minimum confidence in, minimum text in, max words in, virtual knowledge base organization, Seek, which is our LLM governance capabilities, and then corporate logging, of course, to make sure that things are being audited. Then we have the ability for you to inject different guardrails into these workflows. These are incredibly important within the FSS industry. Then we have the ability for your agents to be aware of system variables. So them understanding what date it is, what time it is. Generate a unique ID is very important for some of our startups being built on NeuralSeek. Then we have the ability to leverage different sandboxes, so JavaScript and Python. You can convert files to HTML, and then you can modify JSON, XML, and different code and string toolboxes. Then you could send your data in a REST API call or an email. Last but not least, our ability to integrate is incredibly robust. We have over 100 connectors pre-built. To highlight some, we have the databases covered, we have knowledge bases covered, we have common business applications like SharePoint and Box, Jira, common web searches, watsonx.gov, AWS, Google Drive, GitHub, Slack, Trello. We really give you, the business, the ability to have complete control over the workflow and the enterprise applications that it touches. But let's say you find an integration need that's not in our pre-built connectors. Well, we have the ability to have that custom connector that I previously mentioned. So you can create an agent via a REST API call, and then you could save it as a custom connector and recall it later and share it with your team. Next, I want to highlight that we have over 100 AI agents pre-built, ready to go for you as a business to be able to leverage. These come from our real customers who are actually using AI in their business today. I'd like to highlight one right here, which is our video looper one. Our video frame looper is pretty robust, as you can see. Each of these LLM calls can, through our ability to be LLM specifically controlled, can be leveraging GPT, Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek, whatever LLM you have plugged into your system.